Hello, hello, hello. What's up? Can you see me? Just write AV OK in the comments box if you can see me. All right. Let's get cracking. Let's get cracking. Okay. Give one sec. Just let me adjust my screen. So the topic for today is to clear up the confusion on what needs to be done in the new market. Should we do something? Should we not do something? Should we just stay put and just chill out and not complicate our life? Yeah, that's the main thing. That's the main thing. And if something is to be done, then what are the variables we are looking at? What are the things that are in our power? What are the things that are not in our power, etc., etc. Okay. Now, I have a quick mind map and a PowerPoint to share with you, so you have some visuals, etc., that you can access. And then I have some homework. So if you can see me all right and hear me all right, just write AV OK in the comments box, and we will get cracking. We will get cracking. Just let me refresh my browser so I know what you guys are seeing. Awesome. Now, let me just share my screen. Okay, to be or not to be, that's the title for today. To be or not to be. Okay. Now, what are the things that we are going to talk about in today's live session? The first is the why. Okay, why do we need to start thinking? Why do you need to start thinking outside of your current comfort zone? Okay, during the lockdown, when people were like, I don't know if I'm going to keep my job or not. I don't know if my company is going to survive or not. I don't know if my small business is going to survive or not. Everybody was, looking for options. And now some of that fever has died down because, I have a friend who says, hey man, I tried to do all of these things and I was extremely uncomfortable. I had to learn all kinds of new skills. But after the lockdown, I realized, man, my job is still there. My job is still there. So I don't know if I need to think laterally or not. I don't know if I need to, think outside the box or not, or get out of my comfort zone or not, right? So that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. So if you think there is no need, then that's cool. But let me just walk you through some of the aspects that I think of when I'm faced with a question like this, because just like you, I love to be in my comfort zone. I like to chill and not do much work, and not take too much tension and not take too much risk, especially financial risk. Yeah. So what is the why? The why is this, that we have turning tides. We have turning tides, which means you see a lot of companies that were there was a lot of wave of new companies, big brands, etc., that were building up in the last 5-10 years, and then a lot of them have not done well. Recently, you see a lot of industrialists and all, getting hounded by the government for not paying up their dues and all of that. Yeah. So the cracks are starting to appear in the system. And usually when cracks start to appear in the system, the economic opportunities that are presented, if you're smart, in a period of maybe just a quick couple of years, you can reposition and change your station in life by one or two stations. When I say change your station in life, I'm not talking about increasing your pay by lakh of rupees a month or something like that, doubling your pay. I'm talking about 10xing your pay and reaching a different lifestyle, different level altogether within a matter of maybe a couple of years. Okay, that's what economic opportunity usually, which is which comes with some depression, some readjustment of the market, etc. That is what economic opportunity offers us. And usually the larger players are not very well set to take advantage of it, because they are already spread too thin in their traditional models. Okay, so people who've been looking for an opportunity, they have flexible, and they can utilize speed, which we're going to talk about, and then they can totally reposition. Okay, we have turning tides and all of that. And the biggest issue, my friend, is the world is changing so fast that you need to build something called a high income skill set. You need to build something called a high income skill set. What is a high income skill set? Let me give you an analogy. Okay, so I have a I don't know if you know, but I have a medical degree from one of India's top rated medical colleges. Yeah, probably the number one or the number 2 rated medical college in India, right? And 50 years ago, having a medical degree was considered to be, a super high income skill set, which means you were invincible. You were a doctor, you had the power to heal, and the whole world would come to you. You had, you had glory, you had probably financial opportunities and all of that, right? Samajik pratishtha. You had all the, you had all the glory and everything. Okay. In today's time, probably not so. It takes too much of time to build that high income skill set, and the demand supply situation is not very, very great in this country, especially because India is overloaded with educated workforce, overloaded with MBAs, overloaded with doctors, overloaded with engineers, overloaded with architects and chartered accountants. Yeah, oversupply. Okay, so the demand supply situation is not in your favor. Let me talk to you about another high income skill set. So something that was a high income skill set 50 years back is probably, is an average income skill set today, because, opportunities are, opportunities even outside that profession are extremely wide and huge. What is a high income skill set? Back in the 1980s, late 80s, 90s, the technology world, which was the computer world, primarily led by the US, realized that the computer coding system in the, in the computer's code, the way they notated the year was 2 digits, and Y2K was coming, which is, the year would change from 98, 99, 2000, it would become 00, right? So back in 1988, 1989, they started realizing, oh my God, we need to change the coding systems of the computer right through the kernel. And how can we do that? We need, people to actually log into the computers and actually do a lot of engineering at the base, at the kernel level of these computers. And we have all kinds of computers in the country. So we need, huge masses of engineers, and engineers that are available, the only country which is loaded with educated workforce is India. And people like Narayan Murthy and all, they realized, oh my God, this is a good opportunity. So what they did was they created a little tunnel. They created a tunnel from India to the US, where they had this system where they would either get accelerated approvals for L1 visas, or the, the 1099 or 1098, the contractor, the contractor setup in the US, and get these Indian engineers on contract basis, at $19 an hour or whatever, to work on the computers over there, and they would charge, for that service. So it's the same engineer sitting in India brought over to the US, but Infosys is charging a premium pricing because they're able to do it at scale. That was a high income skill set in those days. Okay. There was a kind of, part derogatory term that was used for it. It was called body shopping. Yeah. Infosys started off as a body shop, which means all they did was get the skill sets from here to there and charge an overage on their labor. Okay. And it was a high income skill sets in those times that it made, many Indian technology companies, very big companies today, multi-million-dollar giants, just getting the supply and the demand meet up the supply and the demand. That was a high income skill set. Today, if you try to do that, if you said, hey man, I'm going to get 10,000 engineers over to the US to do your technology stuff for you, you will not be very welcome, because, the demand supply situation has changed. They don't welcome that kind of thing so much anymore. And you can see that in the political statements and all of that, right? So that's a high income skill set back from 1990. Today, not so much. Okay. So you need to build a high income skill set. Let's go to where my PowerPoint is. Where is my PowerPoint? Okay. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Give me 1 second. Now we are going to assess, okay, whether we need to think, not to think, my job is secure, my business is secure. Oh, thank God, I survived GST, demonetization, COVID, everything. I'm doing good, man. Do I need to do something else, or no? I need to just chill and relax and have some relief. Yeah, maybe a good option for some, may not be a good option for others. Let's review it. Okay, to be or not to be, that is the question. William Shakespeare. Now, I'll just give you a quick history lesson. Okay, why? Because history repeats. History repeats. Back into the 2008 market crash, which had a similar financial implication like the one we have, like the COVID has had today. I was working in the US, I was working with a company, and what really happened was that the markets went up and down, and due to some disbalances, the failure rate of companies fell low, the growth rate of companies fell high, and all this was in 6 years preceding 2008. And sure as hell, one little puncture event like the housing crash, just upturned everything. The company started bankrupting left, right, and center. The growth rate of companies started going down. People started jumping out of the windows, creating suicide, and all of those things. Those things were every day in the papers over there. Okay, public and private investment. If you think the government or some private investors or this foreign direct investment is going to come and help you, it's not, because history says that in those times, all of these big countries, developed capitalist countries, public and private investment tanked. Okay, small businesses got hit the worst. Okay, and the market kind of went down. It went down, but 2 years later it came up, and in a period of the next 2 to 3 years, the market basically recovered. Why? Because the markets work in financial cycles. Yeah, unless you're heading into like a World War III or something, the financial cycle is going to reverse, and it's going to come up, because that is the way financial markets work. Okay, that is the way financial markets work. Now we got to keep this in mind when we are trying to build any high income skill set. Okay, we're going to keep that in mind. Now that is the opportunity. When the market goes down and the market goes up, back in the US, back in 2008, I saw a lot of people making millions of dollars, and these were the people who are individuals, corporate employees, small business owners, who were able to reposition, build high income skill sets, and take advantage of the upsurge in the market that came later. Okay, now if you're a corporate employee and you say, I'm doing well, my company is not, I don't think my job is in danger, and my company is paying me in dollars or whatever, I'm all right, and that's fine. Probably this session is not for you. But if you want to take the opportunity for quantum jumps, take the opportunity for quantum jumps. Okay, so I keep talking about my own experience. Between 2008 and 2011, I was working for a small scale agency, which was a performance marketing agency, and we tripled our revenue doubled our revenue every year for 3 years straight. So by the end of it, we were literally like 10, 12 times where we had started in 2008 when the market had hit. So instead of looking at it as a threat, or instead of looking at it as a comfort zone, oh my God, I survived, I'm all right. Yeah. I was working with a mentor who said, no, this is the time to make a killing and triple the value of our stock holding in the company by increasing the revenue of the company 3 times. Anyway, what is the high income skill set for today? What is the high income skill set for today? I will reveal to you. It is called product packaging, and everyone on this group, the 10, 11,000 people on this group, every one of you can actually learn it and use it. I'm going to teach you how to do it today. Okay. And then I'm going to give you some homework. Okay. Then I'm going to give you some homework. So if you can see me, hear me, just throw me a thumbs up or a comment in the column, so I know that you guys are there, and I will continue. Okay. Now, where are we? Okay. Product packaging, high income skill set. Now, history repeats. So whatever I've done this in 2 or 3 different recessions. Okay, the first was post 9/11 recession, when the markets were tanking and the planes had hit the World Trade Center and the US economy was in doldrums. I was in India. I was working in a hospital job. I did my MBBS. I completed my MBBS in 2004, and I was working in a hospital job. The world was teetering from the aftermath of the 9/11 crash. But when the market started swinging up, a mentor of mine told me, if you'd get into sales and marketing, this is the time. I did that, and that's a story for another day. But I've done this twice or thrice, so I can see that that history repeats. I've been lucky to take part in all of these upsurges, and changed my station in life to something that I couldn't have believed when I was working in my hospital job. Okay, now we'll talk about something called the 10,000 hour rule. We'll talk about something called the 1,000 hour rule. We'll talk about the importance of the environment. And then we will see how many of you guys are action takers. Okay. Now, remember, the problem and opportunity mindset is this: the more the problems, the more the opportunities. Okay. And everyone gets paid to solve some problems. If you're feeling threatened in your business because business is going up and down due to all the social, political, health situation or whatever, if you feel threatened in your job, if you're a corporate employee and you think, oh my God, then chances are that the problem you started out solving a few years ago is not as painful anymore. okay, for the people that you're solving it for. That is why you feel threatened. That's why you feel, man, things are not going according to my expectation, etc., etc. Okay, so everyone gets paid to solve some problem, and the reason that you may be feeling a little threat and all is probably because the problem you started out solving a few years back is not as painful anymore. So you need to find other painful problems to solve. Okay, the more painful the problem, the better it is. The more people impacted by that problem, the better it is. And the more the number of people impacted, the more they will be willing to pay you, the more chances that people are willing to pay you. And that is how you start off. Always think about what is the problem in the market that I can help somebody solve. And this could come from your professional expertise. This would come from your personal expertise. For example, marketing for me is actually a personal expertise because I don't have a degree in it. All I have is like a medical degree. I never got an MBA or something. So for me, marketing is a passion. I help people and companies and some of my corporate clients solve their sales and marketing problems. I get paid for it. It's good. It's become a profession over the last 10-15 years now. Okay, but when it started out, it was like a hobby. Okay, today, if I were to help somebody and somebody told me, hey, you cannot choose marketing because you're too good at it, what other problem can you help people? So I would help people play the game of chess because I'm pretty good at it, and I truly feel I can help some youngsters, etc. And I truly feel that your brain develops much better if you understand mind games like chess, and then the game Go. That's also very good. So I would probably start doing that, and that's a huge opportunity because lots of people would like to develop different areas of their brain while playing games that are more brain focused. Okay, now let's see where we are at. Okay, now we're going to talk about how we're going to do this. Okay, we're going to talk about how we're going to do this. So how do you do product packaging? I'm just going to give you one idea. There's hundreds of different ideas. I'm just going to give you one idea. Product packaging. What is product packaging? Product packaging is when you take any product that is commoditized or something in the market that is just an everyday product, and you create a package around it that beats every other competition in the market, even if they are priced lower than you, even if you are new in the market and they've been established forever. Okay, and you can do it in a very short while just by focusing on the problem. So how do you do that? Don't compete on price and try to be the cheapest. Be the most expensive without seeming expensive. Okay, so what problem does your customer want to solve? What are the core objections, the core problems that prevent them from solving their problem, prevent them from buying whatever product, service, solution, etc. that you think about that is there in the market? And using these objections, you create your package, and your package alone will not only solve the problem, but will probably sell itself as well. Okay, sell itself without needing you to follow up 100 times and things like that. Okay, and these solutions you can use to overturn objections, increase perceived value, etc., etc. Okay, so for example, if I was in the market, I've taken this image from Decathlon's website. Okay, Decathlon's website, where they have these exercise bands. Okay, and they sell for 1,400 rupees or roughly $20. Okay, $20 or 1,400 rupees. And if I were to sell this, okay, I would face 2 or 3 objections. The biggest objection would be, hey, can I find this somewhere cheaper? Can I find this cheaper somewhere? Okay, that is the first thing. The second thing is, hey man, I'll take this home, but I would really prefer to go to a gym because there's no space in my house. I don't know how to use it. I don't know all the workouts. Can I use this one band for different muscle groups? I want to build big shoulders. I want to build big lats. I want to stretch my body. I want to get rid of my back pain, whatever. Can this band help me? Okay, I don't really have the time to work out. Some people are just not exercise people, so they'll obviously say I don't have the time to work out. And some people say, well, I don't know where I'll keep it, etc., etc. Okay, what if it breaks, and what if I end up not being able to use it, or not liking it? Okay, so these are the little objections we are going to build into the product and create a package, and we're going to sell it for more expensive than the most expensive player. Okay, but we are going to seem the cheapest. How are we going to do it? What we'll do is we'll add a door anchor to it. Okay, door anchor to it for 2,000 rupees, which can help keep your door apart and embed this thing in the door, so you can actually do not only push-ups but also pull-ups using this one exercise band. Okay, the door anchor is 2,000 rupees or $30. How do you set it up? How do you use this little thing, use this little band to do all kinds of exercises for all your different muscle groups? Okay, all your different muscle groups. We'll include a book or a manual or a CD. Okay, We'll include a free app or some videos or a video CD, which has all kinds of workout regimens that you can do starting from 20 minutes a day to 2 hours a day. Okay. And that is worth $100. Okay, which is 7,000 rupees, because hey man, if you hired a gym trainer, they would charge you probably 7,000 rupees in the first month itself. And it would take you 3 months before you are able to master only one of their workout sessions. So that means you would have to pay that gym trainer at least for a year in order to master all the different kinds of sessions that we are giving to you over here in your free app. Okay. And if you don't have time or schedule, we'll give you pre-written workouts that come in the box. Okay. All you do is open them and there's your cheat sheets that you can use with a pen and paper and follow along workouts. Okay. We'll give you a 5-year warranty. That's worth $200 right there, or 10,000 rupees or something. Okay. And we'll give you hassle-free returns, 7-day free look period. And the shipping cost we will absorb, which is $20. Okay. So we are giving you $300, $400 worth of value with this $20 product. And this whole box, which includes all of these, we're going to sell for $100, which is 7,000 rupees. Okay. Now imagine that you produce this during the lockdown or post-lockdown phase, when the people who are health junkies or gym junkies. I'm one. I'm waiting for my society gym to open. I've written to the society management, hey man, please open. I will come at 5 o'clock, total social distancing and all that, right? So for the gym junkies, what's going to happen is they get an opportunity when the society gym or the commercial gyms are closed. They get an opportunity to keep up their physical health, which they have not been able to keep up in the last 4 or 5 months. Okay. And if they're getting worried, and sometimes in Pune where I live, the rains are still continuing. So it's very difficult to go out running. It's very difficult to follow any kind of cycling routine or anything because it's raining all the time, right? But if you give somebody an option that for 7,000 rupees, this whole package will take care, even if there was another lockdown for 3 months, your health would be protected. Okay. The package suddenly becomes solid. Okay. So what am I doing? I'm solving a deep problem and including all kinds of variables in it and giving it as one package to make the decision easy for the customer. Okay. To make the decision easy for the customer. This is one income. This is one skill that everybody, whether you're a corporate professional, whether you're a certified professional like a doctor, lawyer, chartered accountant, or you are a small business owner, you need to start wondering in your mind, how can I utilize my knowledge or my existing product or my existing service into creating a package that can go out into the market, and I can charge my rates to the kind of customers that I want instead of going after the wrong kind of customers and getting mental stress in the process. I can choose my customers, I can choose my pricing, and I can still make a tidy profit without stretching myself to the limits. Okay. Now, what is the next one? So you will see me in the group when I put up the videos and all, we keep talking about the lean startup. So I thought I'll just give you a brief idea about it. I read this idea in a book long back. So I've created my own version of it, but I still call it the lean startup in respect to that book, which was called the lean startup. So I like to give them the credit for putting this idea in my mind, although my whole model is kind of slightly different from what they mentioned in that book. Okay. So it consists of something called a message, which is what problem you're going to solve for people. Okay. If I was the owner of this health shop, health store, or the one that was selling this exercise band, I would like to say that I help people take care of their health at home within 4x6 space, even during the lockdown, even during the rains, when their gyms are closed and they have no other option to take care of their health, I help them do that. Okay. And the moment I say that, it connects to people who know that this is different from a gym because my gym is closed. This is different from, a yoga teacher. I could actually go even more specialized. I could say I help people taking care of their health using dynamic stretching, tensile stretching, and dynamic compression, using little tools that we will either deliver to you or you can find in your house. And within a period of 20 minutes a day, you will be able to get your cholesterol down by as much as 20% of what it was during the lockdown level, even if you have no space, even if it's raining outside, even if your gym is not open, and even if you don't have access to a trainer. And we ensure that we will provide you every single thing right to your doorstep, so you don't need to think twice and all the objections are out of your way. All you need to do after that is make sure you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and spend 20 minutes. Okay, that's it. That is the message. Okay. Then we have an outreach program which gets the attention of people and gets us in contact with them. And then we have something called a back office or a business house which creates all these product packages and delivers them to the customer. Okay. Now, how is it that you can use this if you've never thought about entrepreneurship or sales or marketing? How is it that you can reposition using this high income skill which I believe everybody should learn in the market today. Everybody should learn in the market today, because I see, so again, like I said, I had the privilege to build a lot of my career for 12, 15, 13 years in the US, and I got to learn a lot. And then, you know, when I see Indian business owners, they don't think laterally. They're just stuck to their products, and they say, well, my product is not selling, so let's trash that product and let's get into the business of selling sanitizers and masks. Yeah, people don't understand the basics, and then they're getting hurt, and then they want to you know, change their product line and all. That's not going to work. Okay, you need to understand the high income skill sets. Okay, similarly, if you're a corporate professional, you need to understand how to present and position yourself in a way that somebody who is either hiring an employee or a contractor or a service provider is able to make that decision and choose you every single time, even if you are the most expensive player in the market, even if you have no credentials, even if you have no history of doing business. Okay, now, what is the 10,000 hour rule? The 10,000 hour rule was created by this guy called Malcolm Gladwell, who wrote a beautiful book called The Outliers. I would highly recommend you read it. He says that to become, he analyzed all the top people in every business, and he said the people who have 10,000 hours worth of effort put in any single direction, they become world class, the top 1% of the top 1%. And some of the people that were analyzed were people like Bill Gates. Yeah, and they said, well, Bill Gates became a billionaire at 30 or something because he was lucky. No, he was not lucky. When people were busy doing other things, he was actually sneaking into his college where they had a computer, and he was paying, you know, he would pay off the attendant and actually sit at the computer and learn coding 12 hours in the night, every single day, 7 days a week. Okay, and then he would run off at 6 o'clock in the morning because, you know, he didn't want to be caught over there. So he didn't have access to a computer. Computers were very rare, but 365 days of the year he would go and learn coding. He taught himself coding at you know, working 12 hours in the night and all. The first ever off day that he took was after he was 30 years old. Yeah, after he was 30 years old, he took his first off day. Even after he founded Microsoft, he was working 7 days a week. Okay, so 10,000 hours. Okay, now let's just do some calculations over here. If you were to spend 10,000 hours, okay, you actually spend, annual working hours are about 2,000. You spend about 2,000 hours a year at work. So that means if you were to spend 10,000 hours, that means it would take you 5 years to become good at any of these skills, which could be high income skills. So what does that mean? Does that mean that you are basically relegated to your current situation? Because 5 years, such a long time, right? Yeah, it's such a long time. How many of you think 5 years, man, that's too long? I can't take a risk with something that is 5 years away, right? Just write too long in the comments box, and I'll give you another little nugget. Okay, another little nugget. The 1,000 hour rule. The 1,000 hour rule says that to be able to provide a chargeable product or service, you have to put in 1,000 hours. To be able to put a chargeable product or service in the market, you need to be good at it enough so that you can do it in 1,000 hours. Okay, now this is starting from scratch. If you have no prior knowledge of that area. So let's just go back into the calculator. So now I'm talking about 1,000 hours. Another rule of thumb, you spend approximately 200 hours every month working every month. Okay, 200 hours a month. So that means how many months is it? Okay, how many months is it? Months. We are talking about 1,000 by 200 is about 5 months. Okay, it's about 5 months. So how do we break this down? If you are working, the magic number is 70 hours a week. That's what Mark Cuban says, the billionaire Mark Cuban. He says if you work 70 hours a week, it would take you approximately 13 weeks or exactly 3 months. 3 months, okay, to achieve this result. So 13 into 7 is approximately 1,000. Okay, approximately 1,000. Okay, so it would take you 3 months to become chargeable. Now, to become Bill Gates, it will take you, 5 years or whatever it is. To become Steve Jobs, in any one area of, of your choosing. Okay, but in 3 months, you can create an income level or a chargeable service in the market. Okay, now for 3 months working 70 hours a week while you're doing a job or your current business or something is not possible. Yeah, if you think that's not possible, that's like too hard. Just write too hard in the comments box. Okay, so I have some good news for you. What you do is, what I would recommend you do is, okay, you start journaling or writing down what are your current skill sets that you don't need to develop. You have certain skill sets that you don't need to develop. Yeah. So you save a lot of time over there, because the core skill set, to develop a core skill set, it takes a lot of time. Then you have something called a projection skill set. Okay, so core skill sets. Then you have something called a projection skill set, which basically means, for example, in our community, I talk a lot about selfie video. If you start video journaling and all, that skill set is going to be very useful for you, because there are only two skill sets which are going to be surviving the test of time. One is coding and one is doing video marketing, selfie video. Okay, projection skill set that you'll need to develop. The third thing is the power of an environment. You learn faster if you're in an environment which encourages that sort of learning, which is why people like to go to a gym and hire a trainer, because the speed of development is increased 10x. Yeah. So if you put yourself in an environment, and if you table down your core skill sets, and to develop your projection skill sets, you allocate constructive time, then this 70 hours into 13 weeks can be broken down, can be compressed down to a minimum. I'm talking about the minimum of 30 hours a week for 13 weeks, which is exactly 3 months. Okay. So in 3 months working 30 hours a week, you can create what I call a 6-figure income, which is in addition to whatever else you're doing right now. Okay. Now I actually mention over here, it's the rule of Sinha. It's my rule, which technically it's not my rule. I stole it. Yeah. There is a very well-known fact. If you read on YouTube, go to the internet, do some Googling. In any 90-day period, you can create a totally different life in any area of your life. You can be a totally different kind of a parent, totally different kind of a spouse. You can be super healthy, even if you started from like 200 pounds overweight. You can change your financial status by making changes in your habits and your outlook, that are healthy financial habits and healthy financial outlook. If you start a new skill set, you can totally master it, like learning the guitar, etc., if you spend those 30 hours a week for 13 weeks. Okay. And the StartupFrat community is all about sales and marketing. So I encourage that you think about creating a 6-figure income in 13 weeks. A lot of our students have done that, and you'll see the stories, and see some of the interviews and all that I do with students here and there, in your feed. But that is that. So I basically stole that, saying it takes 90 days. Okay, how much is it going to take? It's going to take approximately 1,000 hours. That comes from Mark Cuban. And basically that's what your package is. Okay, so how do we start utilizing our time to get in this direction? Yeah. If this information has been useful to you so far, just write super solid in the comments box. Okay. Now, what's up, Ritu, Sachin? Glad to see you guys here, man. Glad to see you guys. Okay, now, alrighty. Now, where are we? Okay, so what you got to start doing is you got to start looking at your time. Okay, you have one fuel which is free, and that is time. Time and focus is a free fuel. Okay, it's free fuel. So what you start doing is, you start compressing your time into long periods of focus that is outside your work life, outside your family life and all. Okay, probably you have to get up earlier, probably you have to sleep later, or whatever it is, or probably in your lunch break in your office, you go outside your office, spend some time in your car, just whatever, and spend some time. And there should be some concerted time, which could be 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours, in large chunks, which you spend on developing your new skill sets. Okay, what are the high impact tasks? Let me tell you the story of this calling and meeting prospects. Very early on in my career, I had to learn sales and marketing. And then somebody told me the easiest way to learn sales and marketing without quitting a job is to start doing something in multi-level marketing. So I got an Amway distributorship. And then what I would do is, in the middle of my job, in the lunchtime, I would go, I didn't have a car at that time. I would go into an STD booth, and I would call people saying, hey man, would you like to come to my meeting? I've got a business idea, etc. And I would spend 1 hour every day doing that. I would either call people, or I would meet people. I'd say, hey man, I'm over here at this hospital, if you can meet me in the cafeteria, we're working on something that would be of interest to you. Yeah. So I developed that skill set during my lunchtime. It took me about 30 days. I got rid of all my fear of calling people. I got rid of all my fear of answering questions, objections. What is this? Is this MLM, etc., right? So I did all of that. Okay. That was my first foray into sales and marketing. That was my first foray into sales. Somebody said, hey man, if you can't quit your job and you can't afford a coach and you can't afford to go to a MBA school, or if you can't afford to change your job and take marketing as a subject, as an employee, then this is what you got to do. It takes no money and all it takes is guts. So I said, okay, let's do it. Calling and meeting prospects was one of the things. Okay, skill building is another thing. Large and complex problem solving is another thing. These are high impact things that you should dedicate your time to. What are low impact things? Okay, useless things like pointless meetings and phone calls, just friends and relatives calling all day long for no reason and then just spending 10 minutes with everybody on the phone is a totally useless waste of time. Okay, checking your email, checking your WhatsApp, waiting. I've told that guy the electrician is going to come tomorrow in the morning. Till the electrician comes, I'm not going to move, and all of those things. Okay, so and in business, if you're obsessing over useless things like all this website, shed site, and all low impact tasks. Okay, so these are the things that will waste your time. Now I have something for you over here which I'm going to give you, and then you can cycle this back to me. Okay, this comes from inside our community, inside our premium community, which is called the Startup Launch Program. We use this. You have, let us say, first of all, calculate your hourly rate. Okay, what is your hourly rate? Let's say your annual salary is 8 lakh rupees. Your hourly rate is, divide that by the golden figure of 2000. Okay, that's 400 rupees. And if your monthly salary, let's say you can do it by monthly salary, your monthly salary 70 grand, then your hourly rate is, let's say, roughly 350 rupees. Okay, now every 400 rupee label is attached to every hour that you spend outside of your job and outside of basic family stuff. If you spend an hour playing with your kids every day, that's great. Okay, if you spend an hour eating your food and all, that's great. But outside of the basics, every hour of yours has this 400 rupee tag attached. Okay, now what are you going to do to improve your hourly rate from tomorrow? Okay, what you do is you figure out what the high impact tasks are going to be for you, and you start spending at least half an hour to an hour on them. Okay, so this was week 1. This was your schedule. Okay, let me color that for you. Okay, let me color that for you. That's your current schedule. You wake up, you have breakfast, you take a walk, you get ready, you head to office, then you spend time at office, then you commute home, then you relax, then you watch TV, you have kids, family, dinner, work on the laptop, relax, TV, sleep. Okay, this is your current day. Okay, this is your current day. Now what you're going to do is you're going to change that. You're going to start changing that an hour at a time. Okay, you're going to wake up 30 minutes early, and then you're going to read a book. This is in the first week, this is the only change you're going to make. Okay, and this book is not going to be some fiction and all, Sidney Sheldon and all. It's going to be related to what skill set you want to build. Okay, where can you find all this information, etc. You can get a book, you can get a coach, you can go take YouTube Premium and follow some influencers and all who have the information that you need. Okay, in week number 3, what you do is you keep this constant. The book is already here, but you're going to add something more to it. What you're going to do is, instead of all this relaxation time and all this watching TV and all of this stuff, which is an artificial need, you don't really need all that. You don't need to relax. Yeah, it's all the noise in your brain. What you need to do is you need to start working on what kind of product line you're going to launch in the market. If I were to tell you that the universe is going to give you all the help you need and all the information you need and all of that, yeah? And at the worst case scenario, I'm going to give you my email at the end of this. If nobody helps you, you can always email me and I'll email you back. Yeah. Product line, you got to think about product line. Okay, you got to make this a clear intention in your brain that in 90 days, you're going to have your product line ready and go to market. In 90 days, you're going to have your product ready and go to market. Okay, so you're going to spend an hour a day only thinking and writing down about what are the different things you can do and how you can solve a problem using a product packaging trick that I just taught you 5 minutes back. Okay. Then week 4, the read a book and all that is already here. The product line is already here. Then what you're going to do is you're going to start doing something else, like a selfie video of the day, or you're going to go to your Facebook and start building some following or something like that. Okay, that's what you're going to do. Or there may be other things. If you're a small business owner, you already know how your channel marketing and all of those things work. So you're going to spend an hour thinking and planning your new foray with your new product line. Okay, that's how you change your habits week by week. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a link to this Google Sheet, and I want you to fill this out for the next 4 weeks. Okay, week by week, how you're going to change your habits and increase the net worth of your time by cutting out all the useless time and putting constructive stuff over there. Okay, so let's go back to the PowerPoint. Okay, and then we're going to do one more thing. Okay, 2 things I'm going to give you, and then if you follow through, I'm going to give you some gifts. Okay, First of all, commit to cleaning up your time. The sheet I just showed you, I walked you through, it's available at startupfrat.club/time2. Okay, time 2, because there are other sheets also. startupfrat.club/time2. That's the link you hit. It'll take you to that Google sheet. You can download. Let me just show you how that works, where the Google sheet is. Let me just open it in the browser window so I can show you. Okay, you go to this Google sheet, request access. I'll open up the access right after this call. The sheet will open up, and then you can start utilizing it. Okay, then you can start utilizing it now. What is the second thing you're going to do? Second thing you're going to do is you're going to put a stake in the ground, and you're going to fill out a form. You're going to fill out a form. Okay, you're going to fill out a form. What form is that? It's available at startupfrat.club/seek. Let me just show you how that looks. Okay, startupfrat.club/seek. Let me just see if that also has a sharing violation or something. .club/seek. Okay, let me just show you how this looks. Okay, you're going to put in your name, your email address, what is the number one reason you joined this workshop, etc. And once you put in your name, there's a second page to it. You press next, and it will, again, this one is saying request edit access because it just cleaned the cache in my browser, but I will make it all publicly accessible and all of that. Just fill that out. When you fill that form, the input comes into me. Okay, you fill that form, the input comes into me. I can see it. This is only if you're the super serious kinds. Okay, so then I'll allocate some time to help you out. Okay, if you've done both these things, if you've allocated your time, this is your personal thing. You can download that sheet, save as XLS and all that. Save it, and once you've cleaned up your time, you planned out your time. That is your personal information. Keep it to yourself. Once you put a stake in the ground and you filled out this form that said, this is the thing I want to do, and these are the number of hours that I'm going to put every week, guaranteed. Okay, that's what it asks you. What is the problem you want to solve? How many hours do you want to build a business out of it? Okay, startupfrat.club/seek. Okay, fill that form. Then email me. Say, I filled out the form. I have my timesheet. Okay, what are we going to do next? Okay, now email me at rajat@startupfrat.com, and then I will give you some free gifts in response. I'll give you some free gifts. Okay, so that is it for the training today. Let me just see if I have something left out in the mind map, and I will share the mind map as well for you. So we did history repeats, 10,000 hour rule, 1,000 hour rule, your environment. Yeah, environment. Okay, this is the environment, the StartupFrat Hangout. Make sure I put videos 2 or 3 times a day. Make sure you like and comment. Okay, why? Because if you don't like and comment, then Facebook will stop showing you this stuff. Facebook will stop showing. There's way too much stuff to show you, and Facebook doesn't have the time, and you don't have the time. So they only put friends and family first, and then they put the most access, the most interactive content. So if you interact with the content, then you're all set. Okay, your action plan is you got to go to startupfrat.club/time2, startupfrat.club/seek, and then you email. Okay, Rajat@startupfrat.com. Okay, this one is not club, this is .com. Okay, startupfrat.com. That's your action item for the day. Okay, if you have any questions or something, I'll be happy to answer them in the comments box. Hey, Naeem, nice to see you, my friend. Nice to see you. Okay, I've got my phone over there so I can see who all are there. Okay, so if you have any questions or something, then let me know in the comments box. And if this was of value, I want you to put this in the comments box so that whenever I put up the next training video on Monday or something, you can get to see that and it doesn't get lost in your feed. Okay, so it was valuable, not valuable, just let me know in the comments box, and I shall see you next week. I'll look forward to seeing if you guys, how many of you guys are action takers, how many of you guys want to do something crazy with your life, do something crazy with your time. All right. Awesome. Great. I can see the comments. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. And I will see you next week on the next training video. Bye-bye.